Hi, I am Alexandra Cowell. I'm a certified professional coach and the founder of Grace-Based Christian Coaching. Welcome back to the GSCC podcast. I serve ambitious women here who are struggling with limiting beliefs and overwhelm, and they want to create a more intentional and Christ-centered life. So if that is you, you're in the right place. Hey, on Fridays lately, we've been doing something a little special over here, bonus episodes where we chat. Friday favorites. I share a little bit about what I'm loving lately, lessons that I have learned, and what I'm looking forward to for a little bit of a behind the scenes connection with you guys. So let's get right into it. Let's chat Friday favorites today. So, what am I loving lately? Over this past week, I have been doing an intensive with a coach, and it has been phenomenal. So much to say about that. I'll say a little bit more in a minute. But what's been really nice, I've blocked my calendar for chunks of the day so that I can completely plug into this as much as possible. And I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina, although I work with clients not only throughout the country, but worldwide, and have been outside and out and about. And it's just so refreshing and nice to just get out of your typical rhythms and routines and to spend some time working outside too. It's just been the best and such a gift, I think, to your brain to get into new situations and environments. So if that's something you haven't done in a while, I challenge you to go and try that out. Okay, and then this is just a really like lighthearted loving lately this week, and it's Trader Joe's themed. So if you're anything like me, that is one of your happy spaces. And there's something always so fun about the thrill of the hunt, you finding new things and trying them out. So there are three things that I've been loving at Trader Joe's lately. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you have something that is a must try and that you would add to this list. Okay, so the first one, I have tried their unexpected cheese before, but did you know that there is a spreadable version of it? And it is like scary good. It's like one of those things that I had to hide in the back of the refrigerator because it was delicious. It almost reminds me, maybe I'll had this too back in the day. Do you remember like a port wine type of a cheese? It's not quite like that, and it spreads so well. Um, but you've got to try it if you haven't already. This one, I think this has been around for quite a while, but it's just like a guilty pleasure. The Mexican street corn elote dippers. It kind of reminds me of like a grown-up version of, is it Fritos? I don't even know. It's been so long. But the crunch, the flavor, like they're perfect. Like if you would have Chex Mix back in the day, like I'd always look for the ones with the extra seasoning on them. And basically all of these are like that, which is just the best. And then last but not least, not a food, but it's like a bergamot soap that they have. It's in a like nicely packaged and just a little bit of a more elevated vibe. So some of the really lighthearted loving latelys these days. All right, lessons learned. If you had listened to last week's episode, so this is the second one that I've been sharing on the podcast previous, I would share these over on Instagram, which was great. If you're not following on Instagram, Grace-Based Christian Coaching, definitely make sure you're connected over there. But, it's just fun and nice to chat a little bit more in depth. So we're trying it out here too. But if you had listened to last week's episode, if not, go ahead and tune into that. I've been saying we've been navigating some things, and it's interesting. Um, there's some things that you think, I've grown so vastly from. And it's true, and you have. But my pastor, when I was sharing with him the challenges that we're working through, one of the things that I was noticing that was coming up was a tendency to look left and right and consult the people around me for answers more so than our Heavenly Father, right? Like that hit hard. That's one of those things that, you think I've grown from this. Why is this pattern coming up again? And there's a frustration behind that. And so this picture that he had shared, I was like, yes, that is so on point. It's almost like you're traveling up a mountain, right? You're traveling up that mountain. The problem might be at the bottom. So you're getting over time further and further away from it, right? It's like no longer a big glaring thing in your face. And it's like the higher you get up this mountain, like the more you're going up it, you're seeing it from a different angle and a different perspective with different experience. So that was just so freeing, right? And then I had another friend, and she had just spoken a word, and when she was going through, a struggle, and some like old patterns were coming up that were frustrating. Like, wait, what is that? What is this about? She had said there was like the word spoken over her of, you are entering a new level of healing and growth around this challenge. I thought that was so beautiful. So if this speaks to you, I just want to offer that to you as well, because it was such a blessing to me too, and a beautiful lesson learned. Okay. And working with the coach was just such a reminder of the power um, of receiving and of what we do here at Grace-Based Christian Coaching, which so much of it is about your perspective, shifting it, right? Instead of seeing things how the world does, seeing things how God does through a God lens, through building belief and building belief upon the truth. That is what happens here at Grace-Based Christian Coaching. And then thinking about like investment. So thinking about like what needs to happen to make an investment worth it for you. So maybe you're listening, you're like, oh my goodness, I've been wanting to work with Alexandra and Grace-Based Christian Coaching for so long now. What would need to happen to make it worth it? So I was meeting with a client over this past week, and we're working together on her business, and she's doing some corporate work as well. And we were talking about pricing and what we're charging. And our conversation led her to consider shifting things in her other space. And simply like that fresh set of eyes, the motivation, the repositioning of something, like that one session we had could have very easily made the entire cost of her coaching package well worth it, which is like mind blowing and so special in the best way. So I just want to offer that to you too. Like as you're thinking about an investment, thinking about it different than you might have. And this is just going to unlock so much for you. I know it certainly has for me over the years. And then last but certainly not least, looking forward to, oh, we love looking forward to things here at GSCC. Okay, so one is we're so excited for later this month, headed to Charleston for a trip. We always go there at least one time a year, and oftentimes do it in the spring. So myself and my girls, we just get such a joy and thrill out of packing and putting together some really precious and brightly colored outfits. So that's going to be a part of the weekend ahead. I'm going to get lunch with a dear friend and mentor, who literally changed my professional life. I cannot wait to meet with her. And girls' night tomorrow. So just chatting with one of my really good friends. I cannot wait for that. Just that, that friendship, that community connection. It's just worth it 100 times over, right? Like I know there's always something to do, work to get done, things to get done around the house. Plug in with your people if you haven't lately. And then Sunday rhythms, we kind of got off of that for a little while with a lot going on behind the scenes here. But one of the things that we do, and I can, if you're like, oh my goodness, what do you do on Sunday? I would love to know. Send me a message and perhaps we can do an episode on that. But one of the things that we do is my husband and I like to go through what's called the marriage journal. So it's core questions to ask at the beginning or end of every week. And one of them is, what is one thing that I can do for you this week, right? Like, how do you love your people well? I love that so much. So those are my Friday favorites, right? What I'm loving lately, lessons learned, and looking forward to. I hope something stood out to you, spoke to you, and it's just so special to connect with you guys in a new and different way. If you love this, be sure to subscribe, send to a friend, and then know you can listen to it on different platforms. We have this available through the podcast, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. And if you want to watch on YouTube, you can definitely do that too. So as always, so fun to catch up. Happy Friday favorites. I'll see you next time.